Okay, it looks like it's 5:30, so we're going to start. And just for the record, I'm Nan Gomez Heitzberg. I'm the chair for the joint caucuses this year, and I'll be hosting on behalf of the Women's Caucus and the Joint Caucus. Our intention is to provide a format for people who are running for the CCCT board. This is being recorded, and I'll send out the link to the recording. If you so choose, you can distribute that as you wish. I'm assuming you're just going to be distributing yours. I'm looking, yeah, there's Sue. Okay, I just want to make sure Sue is here. So we have 6 minutes. I built in a little grace period. I will let you know when you're at the end of your 6 minutes so that we can move on. And I think, Shannon, we have a slide that has everyone's photograph on it.
Just Let's 1 minute for that, and I don't have that right now.
Okay, all righty. Well, when we get to that slide, I've just included your name and your photograph, the photograph that you have that's either on your district or on the CCCT website. And when I introduce you, I will say your name and your district, and then you can get started. I have my handy timer right here, so we'll know when it's been 6 minutes. Probably you can hear that when it goes off. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started. Shannon, we'll skip that slide.
I have it up. If you wanted me to show it real quick, I can.
Could you show it real quick?
Sure.
Because that way I will include that in the recording, so people will know who was here tonight and have a written name and then your district. Thanks, Shannon. Why don't we go ahead and get started? And Barry, you are first. Trustee Snell, your time has started.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Trustee Gomez Heisberger, for putting this forum on with the other caucuses. My name is Barry Snell. I'm a trustee for Santa Monica Community College District. Presently, I am the president, chairman of the board. I've been on the board for 8 years, and I was thinking about it today before I came before you that the last time was my first time running for the CCCT board. I was handing out my flyers in November in 2019 and got elected. All of a sudden, the whole world changed. And pandemic started. All the meetings were Zoom. Every college was running to try to find how to present hybrid learning to our students. And I was trying to understand what a CCCT member would do at the state level, sitting in front of my desk as an office. I'm passionate about public education. Prior to being on the CCCT board, I was on the K-12 Santa Monica Malibu School District board for 4 years. My present day job is a CPA. Today's March 15th, deadline for corporate returns. So if you saw my desk right now, I'd be full of tax returns. However, I'm passionate about education, and what I hope to continue to do at the state level, one, is to continue to focus on increasing our fund balance for our general fund balance for our community college district. I really believe that we are at a point where we are positioned to help students and help our communities better than we've ever had before, because we need to create new revenue streams for our students to be able to succeed and to stay in college. We know that during the pandemic, we had an awful lot of students that did not return. So my focus would be at the state level to increase the enrollment again and make sure that enrollment is high and retention is high. That's one of my biggest focus. The other focus is I'd like to look at other areas of education for our students. I know that at our community college that we had our first baccalaureate degree, and I would hope that we could expand that out on the state level also to allow other community colleges that haven't had bachelor degrees to afford for that. I am passionate about the fact that we're looking at community housing for our community colleges. Santa Monica College is in the process of looking at having student housing, and I've been a big proponent of that. My expertise as being a CPA, I'm hoping that I can really be a catalyst and a big support at the state level in looking at the finances at the state level and how our general fund is calculated. I honestly believe that if we're looking at building more student housing, that we should take a look at what some of those costs are and look at advocating for putting those costs into the general fund. I've been a big proponent of diversity and inclusion. I know that our area of focus in Santa Monica College has been one of diversity and inclusion for our students, and I'm hoping that I can continue to do that at the state level. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at in the short run. I'm married with 5 children. They're all out of college now and on their own. So I have an awful lot of time to focus on, working at the state level for the community college system. So I hope that with my background, my expertise in education, my background as an accountant, will really be something that will intrigue people. I'm hoping that individuals will think that that it's important to keep someone like myself at the CCCT board. So those are some of the things that I'm focused on, and I just hope that that people will support me for a second term at the CCCT board. So in closing, I just ask that you vote for Barry Snell for this election. Thank you again.
In less than 6 minutes, you win. All right, so we're going to move right along here. And the next person is Mary Strobridge. Trustee Strobridge, your time has started.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Women's History Month. My name is Mary Strobridge. I'm a trustee with the San Luis Obispo County Community College District, otherwise known as Cuesta College. I am in my second trustee term, and I currently serve as president of the board. I'm a retired K-12 teacher and who was committed to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion for students at the Title I school where I taught. I'm running to be a member of the California Community College Trustee Board because I believe that being an educational leader requires being involved on many different levels. One of those levels is being proactive in the education political arena. I've walked the halls of the state capitol with other educators many times to meet with legislators to advocate for our students in schools. Having a proactive voice for community colleges at the national, state, and local levels is very important. My areas of focus are student success and access while providing diversity, equity, and inclusion, effective and efficient guided pathways to provide that students will graduate in 2 years and move on to enter the workforce and or to attend a 4-year college or university. Making sure that we have certificate programs that provide skills for in-demand occupations, addressing areas such as housing, food insecurity, transportation, as well as assisting student parents. I believe strongly in professional development. So I attend CCLC conferences, conventions, workshops, webinars, and even had the opportunity to be a workshop presenter at the 2022 Annual Trustees Conference. I'm a graduate of the CCLC Excellence in Trusteeship and Recertification programs. Community involvement is also very important. I'm a member of the Community College Women's Caucus, as well as a member of the CCLC ACES Committee, which is the Advisory Committee for Educational Services. My community service has really been important to me over the years, starting with my involvement in 4-H because my children were members, and I eventually moved into being a 4-H leader for 20 plus years. I lost count. I attend Chamber of Commerce events throughout the county, participate in Women's March activities, and keep up with local politics. In conclusion, there is so much more I could say, but I have to always remember that students are our priority. Community colleges are here for them and their future. My name is Mary Strobridge, and I humbly ask for your vote to become a member of the California Community College Trustees Board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. By now, you're probably going to think I tell everybody they're a winner, because I do tell everybody they're a winner in less than 6 minutes. So I appreciate that. Next, we have Suzanne Chan, and I don't think I mentioned your colleges before, but she is from Maloney. And Trustee Chan, you have 6 minutes.
Thank you, Nan. Good evening. My name is Sue Chan, and I'm very excited to be running for re-election to the CCCT board. I've been a member for the past 3 years and a seasoned elected official, having served as a planning commissioner, council member, and vice mayor for the city of Fremont. I was recently elected to my second term this past November to the Ohlone College Board of Trustees, where I am currently chair of the board. On the state level, I've been very active, particularly in DEIA. I'm on the DEIA steering committee and was the co-chair of the diversity and hiring group. I participated in a number of the DEIA town halls, presented many times at conference on diversity in hiring, the Brown Act, blowing up the model Asian minority myth, and in mental health issues. I am the chair of APITA, the Asian Pacific Islander Trustees and Administrators Caucus, as well as a member of the Women's and Joint Caucuses, and on the national level, a member of APINA and APAHI. On CCCT, I've really enjoyed working with my fellow board members on statewide issues such as post-pandemic strategies, the budget, the ever-looming SCIF, cybersecurity, ransomware, dual enrollments, I should say declining enrollments. You know, our board has taken steps to pave the way for student success by examining issues such as affordability, dual enrollment, zero-cost textbooks, disaggregated data, to identify those underrepresented students and offer them services such as food, clothing, tutoring, and financial aid. One focus of CCCT is the legislative advocacy for our 1.8 million students. I have strong lobbying skills and a robust relationship with legislators locally, statewide, and nationally, and recently participated in the League's Legislative Action Day in January, as well as going to Washington, D.C. for the ACCT National Legislative Summit, which was last month. And we do this to educate and lobby our representatives on federal funding, workforce development, affordability, minority serving institutions, to make them aware of these programs that serve as HSI, as well as Anapisi and tribal colleges. I believe that the CCCT board should be representative of the community that it serves. California is ethnically diverse, and CCCT needs to reflect that diversity. As a proud Asian American female, I believe that my experience, connections, proven track record, and dedication are assets to the board. It would be an honor to continue in that service. So please re-elect me to continue to be your voice on CCCT. Thank you to the Joint Caucus as well as the Women's Caucus for giving us the opportunity to come before you today to tell you a little bit about ourselves and our platform. And with that, thank you and good luck to all the candidates.
Thank you, Trustee Chan, and absolutely less than 6 minutes, you are to a winner. All right, let me reset my my time here, and the next person up is Marissa Perez from Cerritos College. Trustee Perez.
Good evening, everybody. As Nan mentioned, my name is Marissa Perez, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees at Cerritos Community College in Southeast Los Angeles County. I want to start by first, of course, thanking the caucuses for everything they do to represent us as trustees and for all the work they do on behalf of our students. And thank you again for giving us this opportunity. This year, I am very, very blessed to serve as president of the CCCT board. I will complete my term as president in May. And I will at that point too also complete 6 years representing you as a member of the CCCT board. I'm also in my 11th year at Cerritos College. So I guess I'm kind of a veteran now. It really like flew by very, very quickly. I have served as, president, vice president, clerk numerous times at Cerritos College, and I was president during COVID. So again, that was a very tough opportunity to practice leadership skills in a brand new world. So that again was the last time I served as president, and then I've transitioned most of my focus to a 4-year term, getting into the presidency at CCCT. As president of CCCT, I serve as a member of 3 boards. The trustee board, as all of you are vying for a position. I also am a member of the league board, and this year I also serve as president of the league. So the league board is the operation aspect of the board. So we do everything related to the budget, to policies, CEO evaluation, in conjunction with our colleagues from the CEO board. So that has been, again, a tremendous responsibility as well as a tremendous, privilege to represent and work on all the big issues that we are facing system-wide. At Cerritos College, some of the things that we have been really passionate about is completion. That is everything that we have focused on. Is really not just expanding access to our students, but once they come to Cerritos College and making sure that they complete their certificate and their degree in a timely manner. So that is something that we have been very, very focused on, and that continues to be our path. We also have done a lot of work in kind of 2 different areas that I'm very passionate about. One is dual enrollment, and I say that as a parent to 3 high schoolers and middle schoolers who are also dual enrollment students. So I do all I can to promote all the opportunities for dual enrollment for our students within our communities. Cerritos College represents 13 cities, so we have 4 different school districts, and again, talking about the ability for students to really become prepared for college in an early time frame. The other thing that I'm very passionate about are transit passes, transportation for our students. I see that as a tremendous barrier at Cerritos College for students to be able to get to school, their jobs, helping with family members, and anything we can do to relieve that burden. I'm extremely supportive of, so that's something that we are working on as well. The other thing too, as Trustee Snell mentioned, is housing. I think housing is a really key issue that all of us are focused on now. Again, trying to address the needs for all our students. During COVID, Cerritos College opened up a 28-unit housing complex for our homeless students. We found out that many of our students were experiencing homelessness, and we work with a local service provider, Hoveness, to be able to provide them opportunities temporarily to stay at our the village is what it's called. So again, I would love to be able to complete my last term on the CCCT board. So again, respectfully ask for your vote and for your support for my last term again. So again, thank you very much. And my name is Marisa Perez, Cerritos Community College in Southeast LA County. So that's me. Do you want me to go ahead and go on to Andrea now? You're muted, Nan.
Andrea Hoffman is trustee with Los Angeles Community College District. And yes, please go on.
Okay, great. Well, I'm also really, really excited to represent my friend and my colleague, Andrea Hoffman. Andrea actually is traveling for the college, of course. She today traveled to Sacramento to join our students for free transportation passes. And then tomorrow she will be representing us as trustees at the Chancellor's Office Consultation Committee. So, and I think she also said she has interviews for one of her presidents at LACCD. So she had a really, really busy evening today. So she asked if I could speak on her behalf, and I'm pleased to do that. Again, I'll tell you a little bit more about Andrea. Andrea Hoffman is a member of the LA Community College District Board. She's on her 9th year on the college board. She also served as president during COVID, so we were able to definitely support each other during that time frame. She is also chair of the Women's Caucus that many of us are members of. She is very active in putting together all of the meetings that we have, all the presentations, all the virtual meetings, and is very deeply committed, as many of you know, to working parents, especially. That's been one of her focuses. She is a longtime employee of Glendale Community College. She has been there for 25 years, and she has served as a member of the faculty and a member of the administration there. So she really knows what our students are trying to achieve through her full-time job and then her additional job as a trustee. In regards to her work at CCCT, next year she will become the president of the board. So this year she has served as president-elect. She has also represented us as trustees on the Affordability Housing and Basic Needs Task Force for many, many years. And that she is very committed to that work. She's also been, of course, a champion of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also supportive of increasing baccalaureate degrees for our students and the opportunity that opens up. So that's a little bit about Andra. Again, she's running for a re-election for a 3-year term, and I hope all of you will consider supporting her. So again, Andra Hoffman for Los Angeles Community College District.
Thank you, Trustee Perez. I appreciate you taking care of that for your colleague, and still under 6 minutes on both. So you're both
Good.
winners. You get extra points for that.
So
What we have next is 2 videos of people who weren't able to be here this evening. So first we'll have Trustee Lauren Steck, who's with Monterey Peninsula Community College, followed by Marcia Melcher, who's with South Orange Community College. So as soon as Shannon gets that up, we're ready to go.
Hello there. My name's Lauren Steck. I'm an MPC trustee, Monterey Peninsula College, and I'm in my 20th year now of serving on the MPC board. And I'm also running for re-election for my 3rd and final term on the CCCT board. Throughout my tenure, I've worked hard to do what I could to make a difference. And I've been involved in a number of what I think are the most important issues that have been facing the system since in that period of time. And I'm proud of what my colleagues and I have accomplished so far. I'm going to spend just a couple of minutes highlighting a couple of those things. The first one is the fiscal cliff at the end of Hold Harmless. This is an issue that has to do with the Student-Centered Funding Formula, or SCIF. When I first looked at the documentation for SCIF a number of years ago now, I was flabbergasted. It was pretty obvious that the funding formula hadn't been well thought out, pretty obvious that it hadn't been vetted, and yet it was being forced upon us. There was no shortage of things that were wrong, at least in my opinion, with the student-centered funding formula. But looking at it, there was something that demanded attention more than anything else, and that was the fiscal cliff. That's because at the end of the period of time called Hold Harmless, a number of our districts were going to become instantly insolvent. That would have served nobody's purpose, of course. So I knew that was the most important thing to fix, and here's how I went about doing it. First thing I did was I got myself appointed to the CEO task force on the student-centered funding formula. The CEOs already had a task force. And I spent a year talking about the fiscal cliff, and eventually, after about a year, I finally got through to him, and we agreed that the fiscal cliff was indeed the most important thing to fix. From then on, it was easy, although it took another 3 years of lobbying with the legislature. Luckily, we found Senator John Laird, who understood what we were talking about. And not only that, but he had the ear of the governor. And the upshot of all that is at the end of this 3-year period, this year's enacted budget, the governor has solved the problem. So we don't have to worry about the fiscal cliff anymore. A great story, and I'm very proud of my involvement in it, as well as proud of having solved the problem. Second thing I want to highlight is actually something that's still very, very much a work in progress, and that is the system's reaction in the area of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. The chancellor about 4 years ago decided that he wanted to have only 3 years ago, decided he wanted to have a task force looking at issues regarding DEI. He asked, it was a 16-person task force. He asked for 2 trustees to serve on it, and the 2 trustees were Marisa Perez, who's on this call, and myself. We served with professionals from throughout the system, looking at the state of DEI affairs on our campuses. Our collaborations resulted in what is essentially a roadmap. It was a series of 29 strategies of what to do, accompanied by about 70 action plans of how to do them, and another 20 best practices or so. That package of strategies and action plans were adopted by the Chancellor's office in their entirety, and they now guide the system's efforts in this area. Everybody's working on DEI now. I'm very excited about that. But there's a lot more to be done. But our roadmap and the work done so far have placed our system at the leading edge of the nation on an issue that is increasingly important to solve. And I'm very proud of what we've done so far. So that's why I think of it as a success. In the future, I hope to do something about reinvigorating local control. Effective governance of our colleges depends upon a delicate balance between the Chancellor's office, which provides oversight, and local district control. Over the past few years, that balance has swung very much toward the Chancellor's office. We now have a new Chancellor coming in July, and her history is at the district level. And so we may have an opportunity to readjust the balance. I brought a couple props. This is the DEI report, by the way. This is a report. This is actually an agreement between the Board of Governors and the CCCT, which happened way back in 1999. It's not perfect, but what it is a done deal and an agreement that has been enacted. It might be easy to fix this one. Let's see. The next thing I would like to highlight is what I hope to do regarding another task force that I served on, and this was the CCCT Task Force on Financial Aid, and that is this guy over here. 4 years ago, I was part of this task force, whose initial product was a document covering how to reduce barriers that prevent students from receiving financial aid and how to streamline financial aid disbursement. It was published, as you can see, published February 2020, and you may recall that date because 2 weeks later, COVID struck and everything had to change. As a result, this document, which I think is a very neat document, kind of fell through the cracks. We lost traction on it, and it's probably time to revisit it now that our campuses are getting back to normal. We should redouble our efforts to make sure that our students receive the financial aid that they deserve. And lastly, I'll say I'd like to revisit articulation, continue working on articulation between the community college system and UC. We've had an agreement with CSU for well over a decade now. It works well. We don't have one with UC, and I'd like to think that I could help in that regard. A little about me. I'm a psychologist. I have a PhD from UCLA. I taught at UC Santa Cruz for 16 years. I've been involved with the Office of the President at the University of California for some period of time. And that's pretty much all about me, and that's enough time. Thank you very much. I hope I can convince you to support my candidacy for the election. Thank you very much.
So, and next will be Marcia Melchner, and she was not able to be with us. She's traveling today, so I believe we have a video queued up for her.
I'm Marcia Milchiker, proud trustee of the South Orange County Community College District, which encompasses Saddleback College in Mission Viejo, Irvine Valley College in Irvine, and ATEP in Tustin. I apologize that I'm not able to be there in person, as I will be on the plane on the way to Houston, Texas at the same time. I hope you will learn my trustee responsibilities always come first, and I thank you for allowing me to participate via video. I'm honored to be here presenting to you distinguished Community College Board of Trustee members. If you are watching these videos, I know this is a labor of love to each of you. We volunteer gladly in so many arenas. fully support all of our fundraisers at all of our college, work hard to recruit and support the finest staff to support our students, forge alliances with our local legislators to ensure funding for our students, mentor new trustees, and form coalitions all across the state to assist every trustee and thus every college. I would say we are truly hardworking volunteers in support of our own wonderfully diverse student bodies. I'd love to connect with each and every one of you. A little about me. I was the first in my family to attend college. My father had to drop out of school in the 6th grade to help support his family. Although becoming totally blind in his 7th decade, he attained his AA degree at Miami-Dade Junior College. It was the proudest moment in his life. My mother was a bookkeeper and always dreamed of attending college. She was PTA president of all the public schools we attended in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, and then helped found Cuyahoga Community College in Cleveland. One sister attended her at AA in Key West, Florida as a single mom. She went on to get an MS, BS, and PhD at Florida State University. I attended The Ohio State University and taught junior high school and high school, worked in labs, worked as a research biologist in orthopedic surgery at the Cleveland Clinic Hospital while attaining my MS in biology at Cleveland State University. I substituted in the Long Beach and Anaheim School District, worked as a research biologist for Southwestern Medical, and proudly served as a professor of biology in Santa Ana College for many years. I got my AA in Spanish at Saddleback College so I could assist my students at Santa Ana College better. I like to joke I got my AA in Spanish instead of getting a PhD. You cannot call me a doctor, but I can still speak Spanish. I fell in love with Saddleback College. I took classes there, and my sons attended Saddleback College with their mom in the fabulous Child Development Center there. I took swimming, computer programming, and argumentation and debate, which assisted me in winning my election to our college district. I'm an engaged trustee. When the board is invited, I'm always there. I've never missed a commencement, a scholarship ceremony, or a fundraiser. When I shake hands of our students at our commencement, so many graduate, cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. I'm telling them I'm so proud because when I graduated from Ohio State, I graduated thank the laude. Why do I want to run for the CCCT board? I believe that my vast experience, energy, and drive, I can make a difference. I would be honored to be the first trustee from our district to serve on the CCCT board. I'm also good at bringing people together. Our current board is wonderful, and I've always been helpful in getting everyone to get along. When I was first elected, the community colleges were being studied to be reformed. Adult continuing education classes were being threatened to be removed from the Saddleback Community College's mission. Our emeritus students were devastated. We brought busloads of our emeritus students to the hearings. These students spoke eloquently at these hearings. I talked about how important these classes are for our students' long-term physical, mental, and brain health, and we won. The Omnibus Community College Bill, which became AB 1725, included continuing adult education as an important mission of our community college. And these classes are being offered by colleges all over the state today. I'm a fast learner, and I learned how important it is to work with our legislators. I helped to get funding for our 2 student service centers at both colleges this way. I worked to acquire 62 acres of land from the Navy that was formerly a Marine base in Tustin. I worked with the City Council and administrators of Tustin to wrap up this deal. We named it ATEP, the Advanced Technology Education Park. It is now being built out as a successful public-private educational facility with one STEM-focused building from each college on its ground. I founded our Orange County Community College Legislative Task Force. The task force consists of our 4 Orange County Community College districts. I even wrote the original campaign plan, which is still followed today. I presented this program at the ACCT conference in Chicago. Our task force passed bills helping student veterans and create strong economic interest reports, which we presented to our legislators. I also work hard to raise money to support student scholarships. That's why I became so active in AAUW, the American Association of University Women. I'm a member of our 3 local branches and I've been president 5 times. Our local AAUWs have raised over $1 million for Saddleback College women. I'm also a Charter 100 member. All Charter 100 scholarships are given to Irvine Valley College single mothers. Charter 100 has contributed more than $350,000 in endowed scholarships to Irvine Valley College single mothers. In addition, we take the moms and their children to Disneyland every year and support them throughout their entire educational careers, and this is unprecedented. I will assist the CCCT board. I have the knowledge I'd like to share with all the trustees of our state. I'm a strong supporter of DEIA. My family and I were always active in civil rights movements, marched in the South, and helped to get equal rights. I learned Spanish. One daughter-in-law is from Taiwan and another is from the Philippines. And I'm hoping my grandchildren will all attend our community colleges just like their fathers did. I'm Marcia Milchiker, so please give me your vote. Thank you.
And thank you, Trustee Milchener. We're about halfway and have about 6 more people to cover tonight. So we're on time and keeping to our schedule. Our next trustee candidate is Trustee Barbara Dunsheath from North Orange County Community College District. Trustee Dunsheath.
Thank you, Nan, and thank you for everyone that helped to organize this, especially the different caucuses. If there's one kind of crystallizing point that I hope you remember about me, that is that I am really, truly passionate about community colleges. And I'm passionate about the community colleges because we are the people's college. There's an engraving on the exterior of the Boston Public Library, and that reads, "The Commonwealth requires the education of the people." And our community colleges serve all the people. We accept the top 100%. We are inclusive. North Orange, which has Cypress and Fullerton College, as well as North Orange Continuing Education, we serve everyone basically from the cradle to the grave. We serve all genders, all races, all colors, all socioeconomic backgrounds. And this diversity is truly our greatest strength for our students and for our communities. As educators, we really help to defend our democracy. And I think that's a critical aspect of what we do. My entire professional career has been dedicated to community colleges. It's not just a job, it's been my passion. It's where I spent my time, my talent, and my treasures. My full-time job is as a history professor at East Los Angeles College. I did recently retire full-time, but I continue to teach part-time. There I was the chair of the Women in Gender Studies program, and I served in a variety of different committees. I'm not going to name them all. If you want to see my resume, I can, but it's not important. I would like to highlight, though, that as a faculty member, I was chair of the accreditation, faculty chair for the accreditation visits. I have my doctorate in educational leadership from Cal State University Long Beach. And I've been a proud trustee for 17 years at North Orange County Community College District. As trustees, we are policy-making board. We steer the college to guide our students for their attainment of their educational goals. And through that, we serve our communities. I've had a variety of different leadership roles as a trustee. I've been president 3 times, as well as all the other offices. And I, again, am a very proud member of the Cypress College Foundation, where I serve as the vice chair. I've been very involved in trustee professional education. I served many years on the ACES committee. I'm myself an effective trustee program graduate with recertification, and I'm currently on the League on Call. In the past, and it's hard to believe, but it was like 23 years ago, or not 23 years ago, I think 13 years ago, I was the co-chair for the Committee on the Vision of Success, which actually was the precursor to the Chancellor's Office Vision for Success. And what we talked about in the Vision for Success was really the 3 legs of the stool, in that we need access, we need success for our students, and we need equity. And those are still very much the goals. I also serve as an ACCJC commissioner, which has been a great learning experience to help all the California community colleges, Hawaii, Pacific, and independent AA granting colleges. As a commissioner, we serve for quality and success. And as a commissioner, we want all our institutions to thrive. As my goals, and my goals are very similar to what I've been spending my time on, I really want to devote my time first and foremost, well, not in any really order, but first listed for advocacy. We as community colleges need to tell our stories. We're 1.8 million students strong. We're the largest educational entity in the county and probably in the world. We have stories, you all have stories at your colleges as specific students. And I just want to mention one from Cypress College, Alejandra Rojas, who's a poli-sci major, but she's overcome, housing and food insecurity. And her dedication to the college is that it's really the place where she found a home. We need to focus on funding with our advocacy. Many of the people talked about this. And this idea of the power of 72. My day job, I am a faculty member at East LA College, and the LA district talks about the power of 9. But the CCCT board really is the power of all of our 72 districts. Secondly, I'm really focusing on professional development. Again, it's a passion. At heart, I'm a teacher. And I really believe as an educational institution, as leaders of educational institutions, we need to model professional development for ourselves. I do believe that it's through education, it brings one out of the dark and into the light. And there's always new ideas, always new challenges. I'm always learning as a trustee. And I really think we need to continue to do that. And then another key focus is certainly DEIA. And I think everybody here has that as a focus. I believe it's a moral imperative that all of our students succeed. And that we, as trustees, follow the guidelines that the league has set out, that many of these people on the call have helped work on, that the ACCT board has come out with a really good guide for trustees. But we need to make that a center of who we are as trustees and as individuals. And if I have the opportunity to continue to serve on the CCCT board, that would certainly be an area of highlight. And then lastly, and again, this was mentioned by some of my colleagues, certainly this idea of local control. We need to be flexible, and if we're flexible, we can be nimble. We're similar, but we're also very unique. And I think that as trustees, we know our communities well. And in that sense, it gives us a special advantage to be able to lead our communities. And so as a CCCT member, that is another area of focus. So I've truly enjoyed serving on the CCCT board. I came in during the middle of COVID and I thought, whoa, these are a lot of Zoom meetings, but we got through it. And I think it's better now that we're in person, but I'd like to continue that opportunity. And I would be truly humbled and honored to continue to serve all of our 72 districts across the state. And once again, I'm Barbara Dunchief, and I am passionate about community colleges. Thank you so much.
Whoops. Thank you, Trustee Dunchief. Let me turn this thing off so we can get started again. And a winner right there, as all of our candidates have been. Next on our list is Jonathan Abud. And he is with Santa Barbara. I always said Santa Barbara City College District, but I think there are some other C's in there. So Jonathan, you have the floor. Take yourself.
All right, thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Abud. I'm excited to share that I am running for the California Community College Trustee Board, and I ask for your vote for my first term. I've been a trustee on the Santa Barbara Community College District Board for 8 years now, elected in 2014. And this year, my colleagues elected me as a board president during a pivotal time for our district. We've got 2 new board members. We're hiring a new superintendent after some years of instability. We are positioning ourselves for a 2024 bond after the one failed in 2014. We're looking at student housing as an issue, something that I originally ran on. We're continuing our newer work on equity, and we're resolving issues with our fiscal health. So there's a lot on our plate, and I've in this position, my colleagues also decided to nominate me for the CCCT board. So that's because I'm passionate about community colleges and their role in making California a better place for everyone who lives here, raises a family here, works here, or owns a business here. I'm a former first-generation college student. I graduated not too long ago in 2014. Feels like a lifetime ago. I've experienced firsthand many of the benefits that higher education brings and also the challenges that students face every day. Also as a community college and higher education, someone who's very passionate about that, my first paper in college was actually about the California Master Plan for higher education. It's been an interest for a very long time for me. As a CCCT leader, I'm going to advocate for community colleges as a bridge to opportunities and a brighter future for everybody. I think that's really what their purpose is in California. I think we need energetic, selfless, and responsible leaders and people who are going to put students and their education first. Something about me in all of my roles, elected or not elected, I've always taken on the hard issues, the long-term tough issues at every level. And I also do believe in thoughtful, open, and respectful communication. My view of what a good CCCT board member does is represent the trustees of the state and tackle the issues that they feel are the most important. And I've spoken to a few people already at the January conference and over the phone since then. And what I've heard from people is the issues for our state and for our trustees who are representing are advancing diversity, equity, inclusion, access, and anti-racism in all the work that we do. The costs of housing and childcare for our employees and our students. I've heard that from so many people across the state. The need to build new relationships with so many new state legislators this year and in 2 years, there's gonna be so many even more new ones, especially with the tough budget years ahead, hold harmless, possibly, hopefully not coming to an end, but plan to come to an end in 2025. I also got my start in state budget advocacy with the UC on the UC level in 2010. And I'd like to use some of my connections there for more united advocacy. And I also have heard from so many people this issue of local control and flexibility to serve the local needs of students. And I'd like to share a little bit about my experience on that issue in a moment. Equitable education has always been my why for being involved in my community since I started 15 years ago. And I'm going to continue being a champion for community colleges through this role. Some of my accomplishments while I've been on the board here in Santa Barbara, I'm gonna share a couple different stories just to show different aspects of what I could bring to our CCCT board. One was a employee-student relationships policy. Our board, I'm proud of our board. We recognized an issue on campus of inappropriate relationships between employees and students, and we acted swiftly in our policy committee, working with our superintendent to get a policy through the campus deliberation process and passed in the shortest amount of time we could have done it to protect our students. We acted as fast as we could when we saw an issue. On the issue of diversity, equity, inclusion, access, and racism, I was championing that on our board, and I was in the board minority for a couple of years. But as things change, I built some bridges and common ground with another trustee who I disagreed with, and we were able to pass a resolution in 2020 that united our board and to move forward on that issue. And it led to things like a new policy giving class registration for Umoja students, the same that athletes would get. The first time I went to a CCCT conference when I was first elected in January 2015, I learned about a recommended policy that the district should have for faculty and staff diversity. I brought it back to my board, we discussed it, passed it, and now every year it's something our Vice President for Human Resources owns. And we all look forward to that report on the diversity of our employees, hiring, and applicants. And finally, I established our board's legislative program with the legislative liaison position, where I got the board thinking about doing position letters to our legislators, lobby visits regularly with our assembly member and state senator, and having more than just me going up to Sacramento on a regular basis. On the topic of local control, what I do in my day job is I'm the general manager of a community services district in Isla Vista that I helped create. And that was all about local control. We're unincorporated, governed by the county, and the community services district was our means towards having local control in our community. And so it's something I believe in deeply. I have 15 seconds left, I think. And so just a little bit about me. My parents immigrated here from Lebanon. I grew up in Los Angeles and I moved to Santa Barbara to go to college. And I ended up staying after I graduated in 2014 after many tragedies in our community, and ran for the board and helped create the community services district. I'm really looking forward to speaking with everybody and earning your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Abud. And yes, you were less than 16 minutes, so you two are a winner. We have a couple of people that where we've had problems with technical problems getting their videos uploaded. So we're going to move on to Roberto Rodriguez, and Trustee Rodriguez is with Palomar Community College District. Roberto, you have the floor.
Thank you, Nan. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share a little bit about myself. As Nan said, my name is Roberto Rodriguez. Because the best advice I've ever received is that a short speech is long remembered, I will try and keep this short. So first, I'm a first-term trustee. I was elected in 2020 for Palomar College, and I ran because at the time there were a lot of questions about the finances of Palomar College and what was happening there, and there was a lot of discord. And but I decided to run because I believed I had something to contribute. It's been a challenging but very productive 2 years. We started off hiring a new and very dynamic superintendent president. When I started, we had a fiscal monitor. That is no longer the case. That has been lifted. And like I said, when I was elected, there were concerns about the future of the college. Today, we have a healthy reserve, and things are looking in a very positive direction for the college. And that, of course, is because of the work of many, many hands. So things look brighter in Palomar. It doesn't mean we aren't facing challenges, like all of us. Declining enrollment is an issue, lack of funding to do all the things that is expected of us, students facing home and food insecurities, and much, much more, financial aid, et cetera. We know that there are challenges in what we do. And in my 2 years on the board, just to add to the kind of systemic issues, in my 2 years on the board, we've had 2 trustees that were elected when I was elected that have moved on to different positions. So we've had a little bit of turnaround, and currently we're looking to appoint someone to fill a term of our current president, who has decided to take on another position with one of our local cities. So in any case, that's kind of where we're at, and that's kind of where we're going. I've been the vice president of our board for the last 2 years, and because of the change, I'm now acting as kind of an interim, not kind of, but as an interim president while we fill that new position and do a new organizing meeting. I want to thank our former trustee, some of who many of you may know, Mark Evilsizer. He's the one that kind of encouraged me to run for the CCCT board. And I also want to thank our current board for their unanimous endorsement. I bring some unique experiences in some ways. I'm passionate about public education in all its forms, from K through higher education. I've spent 30+ years as a high school teacher. I've been recognized on the labor side as a former local president, and have been also part of the board of directors of the California Teachers Association. Now I currently serve as the labor relations director for one of the largest secondary school districts in the state. So I have a fairly broad experience. I understand issues and policies and how those get developed, and as far as development of policies and advocacy, it's an area that I'm committed to. I'm currently serving on the League's Advisory Committee on Legislation. So, and it's a similar role that I had when I was with CTA a few years back. So it's a passion. I have very strong relationships with local legislators and some of our Congress members as well locally. I'm looking forward to serving in this new role. If you were willing to give me your vote, there are 3 kind of main concerns that led me to want to do this. One is that DEIA work needs to continue to the point where it is deeply embedded in everything we do as community colleges. Community colleges take 100% of those that come through the door. We need to make sure that we meet them where they are, that they respect who they are, and that we are able to support them in their success. The second item is housing and food insecurity is too prevalent in our communities. I just heard heard at our board meeting last night that the Palomar College food pantry is serving students at record numbers right now. While I'm glad that we have that available for our students, it saddens me that so many of our students have this need. We need to find a way to deal with housing insecurity as well. While many of us have received grants to explore the possibilities, we need to move forward with this with a little more alacrity, because our students are going through so much right now. I honestly believe that living in one's car and skipping meals should never be part of your financial package for financing your public education and your higher education. And lastly, I'll talk about local control and flexibility. While we have moved to this student-centered funding formula, there are still too many strings attached to the funds that we receive, and not enough flexibility for local boards to deploy the resources as best that serve their communities best. I know, for example, in K-12 a few years back, we went to something called local control funding formula, removed almost all of the categorical programs that existed except for possibly special education. And we haven't seen that for us. I think we still have too many barriers to be able to deploy our resources in a way that serve our students best. So those are some of the areas. I know there's a lot more to work. I'm looking forward to working on the CCCT board if I were so honored. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share a bit about myself. And in closing, I just respectfully ask for your support for Roberto Rodriguez for the CCCT board. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roberto. Trustee Rodriguez, we appreciate your being able to be here tonight. And I do say that everybody's a winner, so I want to make sure you get your points for that. Carmen Rodriguez, Trustee Rodriguez from Ramirez from Merced was not able to stay on the line, so she's going to send a video in later, and that will be available on the recorded link that we will give you sometime later this week.
Hi, my name is Carmen Ramirez, and I'm asking for your vote so that I can remain serving on the CCCT board. I am currently a trustee at Merced Community College, which is right in the middle of California. I have been a trustee since 2016, and my family is a community college family. My parents first met at Merced College. They got married. Their kids have gone there. I graduated from there in 2000. And since then, I've become a big advocate for community college. It really changed my life. Community college helped me understand that I could be competitive at a university level class. It made me feel confident to reach out to professors. So everywhere I go, I'm an advocate for community college. I'm now an attorney. I have a private office here in Merced, California, and I've tried to pass on my good experience and good fortune by acting as a mentor for people who want to go into law. Just like with community college, I didn't have anyone who had gone before me, but I ran into nice people, and those people opened doors for me that made me a braver, better person. And I want to do that for community college students all over California. Community college is a great bargain. It is a big economic engine for our communities. It deserves respect. It deserves to be funded appropriately. And it's really enriched, the lives of people who graduate from there. So I'm a proud advocate for community colleges up and down the state of California. I graduated from UCLA, I have friends that currently work at different community colleges who are proud counselors and professors, adjunct and full-time. I have friends that work up in Northern California in the Bay Area who also do good work on cutting edge issues like diversity, inclusion, equity, enrollment strategies. So all those things and all those contributions are things that make community colleges great. I want to be part of that energy. I want to be part of the advocacy for community colleges, and I think I can do a good job for us. So with all that in mind, I'll tell you that I've served as an administrative law judge for the city of Merced, for the city of Atwater. I am, as an attorney, I've been nominated by the governor and have sat as a board member that adjudicates water quality violations, both for Governor Jerry Brown and now for Governor Gavin Newsom. I've served as board chair for the community college board that I sit on for Merced College. I've served as vice president. I've served as the board. I chair the economic subcommittee. I work on just different things. And I'll tell you that out of all the things that I do professionally, the community service that I do is the best part of my professional life. The best part of my personal life are my husband and my two kids. My two daughters are right in the other room, Abigail and Juliana, and they're excited about Merced College. That's what feels like home to them. Now I know that they're smart, that they'll be successful, whatever they choose to do, but there's no question that it's smart of me to make sure that they go to a community college first. So I'll tell you from the bottom of my heart that community college is in my blood, it's in my heart, and I hope that you'll consider voting for me in the upcoming elections. I'm happy to reach out. Please let me know if I can answer any more questions. Thank you for your consideration.
So we're going to move ahead to Milton Richards, Trustee Richards from Yosemite Community College District. You have the floor.
Well, thank you so much. And first of all, I want to thank you, Nan, and the Women's Caucus and your staff for putting on this event and for sending us emails and keeping us updated. It's really helpful. I want to congratulate everyone that has stepped forward to run for this board. You know, I'm very pleased that I was unanimously nominated by my community college district to run for this board. I'm also pleased that I was elected the vice president. I think we've got a terrific board, but I think new ideas and new people and new voices are something that's really important. I have over 40 years of experience in higher education as a student earning my doctorate at West Virginia University, as a faculty member at Temple University, and as a college athletic director at not only three colleges, Temple University, Kansas State, the University of Albany, and Cal State Stanislaus, but I also served as the athletic director at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver, British Columbia. When they were doing their transition from into the NCAA, they needed an American athletic director, and I did that. So I have a wealth of experience, and I was recruited to run for the board because of that. Now, I also have a lot of experience in lobbying the legislator on behalf of that higher education. And I have to be honest, my wife is the mayor of Turlock, California, so I've been able to learn a lot from her. She's the first woman to be elected mayor in Turlock in over 102 years, and she also just recently got reelected. And with a lot of her help and working with our lobbyist, the Townsend Organization, I was able to assist the district in getting a $2 million grant for our fire training program at Columbia College. Now, I'm a big believer in as much local control as possible instead of the too frequent top-down, one-size-fits-all directive that comes from the state, however well-meaning. The people closest to the problem have the best chance of finding long-term solutions. And just as our students are diverse, so are our districts. The Yosemite Community College District has worked hard to chart a course which affirms its unyielding commitment to a diverse, inclusive, and mutually respectful institution of learning that welcomes all individuals from all backgrounds, perspectives, and walks of life. We welcome all that we serve. Now, one of the other things that I want to point out is that our district has had a history of not participating in the national conferences. And since I've gotten on the board, it's a little easier because I am retired, but I do, other than having to serve as my wife's assistant, But I do, I've made it a point to attend all the conferences. As a matter of fact, I've convinced our trustees, and our board's a little different because we have a lot of people with full-time jobs that really can't get off. But we're all going to be coming to the conference in May. So I would ask you to consider a new voice, a new person, new ideas, and consider voting for, and I'll only say this once, Dr. Milton Richards. I'm really Milt, but I do have an earned doctorate, so I should tell people that. But I wish everybody the best, and please remember to consider Milton Richards for this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Richards, and less than 6 minutes, so an obvious winner. We'll go on to our last candidate today. That's Michael Rivas from Antelope Valley Community College System. Trustee Rivas, you have the floor.
Yes, can you hear me all right, Nan?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, fellow trustees, or as I call us, dream makers. We help you to achieve your dreams. My name is Michael Reeves. I've been a trustee at Antelope Valley College for 2 years and 4 months. Previously, when I lived in Los Angeles 15 years ago, I ran for a seat on the LA Community College District Board of Trustees. And I also applied for a seat on the board twice when vacancies occurred. At both ABC and LACCD, I attended board meetings. Today, I'm running for a seat on the league because of the challenges we face and in the near future, today and in the near future as trustees of the community colleges for 40 million people. Not unexpectedly, we are hit with the 3 challenges we didn't expect to hit us immediately, but here they are. We face budgetary constraints, declining enrollment, and social issues that have been lingering for years. So what do? I say we look back and we look forward to the future. I believe community college should be free except for the student fee, like the old days. There should not be any obstacles to a student wanting to achieve his or her dreams. However, though I advocate free tuition at enrollment, with the stipulation, you see a counselor, are given help to decide what you want, are able and will achieve as a student. The student will be given a fixed schedule, which will be monitored for completion. If the student falls and slips, the college will help them get up and continue. Secondly, we face declining enrollment. Some of it is due to the demographics of our time. Some of it is due to the fact that jobs in the service industry are paying well. And why should I go to the college to get a job? Good question. The answer is these services may not be sustainable and not conducive to raising a family, buying a home, and they are not permanent. Thirdly, we have social issues of students concerned about diversity and fairness. The community college system has outreach to address them. Have they been successful? We need to take a step back to open our colleges to everyone. We need to step up and offer more job training courses. Recently at AV College, we had a speaker. She told about her profession, which is 98% male. She also mentioned that there are almost 900,000 skilled jobs that require skills that are unfilled, and colleges are only graduating 44,000 of those jobs a year. Clearly, we have an obligation to help train and equip our workforce for the good of our society. The speaker just mentioned also said that the current supply chain crisis is the result of a lack of skilled workers. We must dialogue on these items I have spoken to you about. We need to speak to our administrators, unions, students, our elected officials for whom we all know about these challenges. I believe the legislature will listen. We have many distinguished people in local, state, and our national government who are trustees like us. Finally, I personally want to be like the burst of cold water that hits you as you turn on the shower in the morning and say, I'm awake now. I want to be the one who says, yes, but when items are discussed. So at the time of a vote, when we have considered all angles and all viewpoints, we come to the position respectful to all. I thank you all for the opportunity to be with so many people with wonderful backgrounds. Now is the time as the song says, to take the breaths away of the people of California as we do great things for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Rivas. Well, I think we have a great group of candidates. And overall, I think somebody mentioned on our 73 district, we're in good hands. And it's good to see so many people who are willing to step up and take a leadership role at the state level. I can tell you that the CCCT board is about business and about doing the work of what is good for students across our state. And you will be well served to put your time and energy should you be elected to that board. Thank you to Shannon and Maria for keeping us together and on track this evening behind the scenes. We so appreciate your skill set and your willingness of spirit to be with us here in the evening. We will have the recording ready for you sometime in the end of the week. We have 2 videos that need to be uploaded for Hortensia Armendariz and for Carmen Ramirez. So as soon as we get those done, I will send you out a link so that you can use that as you see fit. And I was glad to see that we had some of our caucus members with us this evening. So thank you to the people who were in the audience, and thank you to all of our candidates. We wish you well. Have a good evening.
Thank you.